Maybe I could hold up my end if your people weren't sabotaging my operations.
Service needed. Pollen clog in port.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. These footprints match the shoes previously analyzed in the Grand Ballroom. There is a 110% chance with a 10% margin of error that they were left by Ruth Bellamy, the actress known as Halcyon Helen.
High traffic areas are the most susceptible to mud stains and ground-in soil buildup. Deploying Tarmac shampoo and Spitshine servicing now. Sam never chases the competition. We're always a step ahead.
Such lovely weather calls for a harvest, I do believe. Well, sweet hello there, valued visitor. I am sure sorry to break it to you, but our orchards are closed to all officially guided tours at this precise moment in time. Rizzo's does beseech you to please purchase one of our self-guided options if you're wishing to join one of our rejuvenative, relaxing, reformatory tours. Now with a Puzzle Hedges trademark maze hunt and special edition taste testing for an extra 35 bits a ticket. What kind of investigation? You wouldn't happen to be from the health inspection office, would you? Grisly stuff, that. I heard the poor gal got her brain pan bashed in. Not that she probably had much rattling around there to start with, if you know what I mean. Well, someone sure wanted her gone, didn't they? But no Rizzo's employee would commit such an atrocity. We're far too content with life for that. Won't find an unhappy Rizzo's employee in all of Eridanos. No diddly-dee-dum, you won't. Ha ha ha! Can't say that I have. We use bad batches of liquor for our pesticides. Only the exterminator mechanicals are armed around here. And I haven't seen any bloody objects aside from the usual pair of gardening shears. Unless, that is, Miss Helen was also stung to death by pollinization mosquitoes? She wasn't, was she? That would be a mighty wretched way to go. Well, you are in luck. She passed right by here the other day. I thought she'd hired a private tour at first, but it was Dr. Blossom who was showing her the way to the RR and DD labs. Can't imagine why she'd need to meet with our head researcher on the Spectrum product line outside of her lab hours. Unless, of course, it had to do with the new product unveiling. You lead, I'll follow. Not anywhere off the grounds, of course. I never leave the orchards, but within the bounds of this stimulating conversation, I will follow your proverbial footprints trail. Why, you're standing smack dab in the pride and joy of Rizzo's nearly natural product development sector. We call this fecund landscape the Purple Berry Orchards, since that's our main crop. But we also sow and grow mock apples, nanners, pea-free nuts, tarmac, and more. Rizzo's is pleased as Mock Apple Pie to offer 3 tiers of VIP tours. Premium, Premium Plus, and the Golden Ticket. All are available for purchase in the Nut Hut. Of course, tours of any access level must be suspended during a scheduled pollinization cycle. Our waspitos are quite territorial and have been known to sting both workers and visitors alike. Yes, indeedy. I've got the wondrous honor of having just been promoted to 3rd Keeper of the Grounds after the last one disappeared on the job. Gosh, I guess about a week ago now? Before my morning clock-in last Sunday, I was but a lowly nanner peeler picker on the line shift. Now I'm responsible for growing every twig and berry on this vast swath of fertile land. Heaven sweet, no. It's not like he was murdered. He simply disappeared without a trace and hasn't been heard from since. And the groundkeeper before that one? Well, she wasn't missing at all. Her body was found near hive control, covered head to toe in thousands of welts. No mystery, and certainly no murder with what happened there. I mean, you can't exactly hold some waspitos on trial. Accidents do happen on the job. Can't speak for others, but I most assuredly don't. I reckon you could talk to my supervisor, the overseeing orchardist. He would know more. I used to ask questions, but gee, I just don't feel the urge to anymore. Pollinization by killer waspitos, indeedy. It's cutting-edge Rizzo's technology. But don't you worry, valued visitor. Our pollinization cycles only run when the orchards are empty, for safety reasons. When a pollinization cycle finishes or is aborted, all waspitos are biologically programmed to return to the hive, their holding pen. Of course, the very last thing Rizzo's would want is a beloved tourist bumbling into the hive and triggering an unscheduled cycle. So you'd best steer clear of it for safety. You'll know the hive by its big, glimmering electric fencing. Gosh and goody gumdrops, but I could talk about the orchards till my lips fell off. Instead, let's talk about whatever interests you, because that's what interests me, too. Why, you say that as if it's a bad thing. I am quite overcome with happiness, indeed. You won't find a Rizzo's worker in all of Eridanos who isn't 100% thrilled in their day-to-day existence. It's part of our brand manifesto. Happy workers lead to happy customers. Happy customers are repeat customers. And repeat customers make the charts look better on our weekly profit reports. So if nothing else, it's my responsibility at all times to smile, smile, smile. And you know what never fails to bring a smile to my face? The breathtaking tours we offer throughout the orchards. Seasonally available for purchase in the Nut Hut. I can't stop you from poking around, but do be mindful of our pollinization hive. Waspitos tend towards aggressive at the best of times. There's a reason why we keep him behind an electric fence, you know.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
And if sabotaging the orchards weren't enough, you had to make it personal. You really had to bust my Insta coffee maker, too? The nerve.
Hold that asinine thought. Who is this armed stranger who just wandered into your office? Back up for a fight you can't finish?
What the hell are you talking about? I don't know this fella. I think it's mightily more likely that he's under your payroll. Here to burn down what you haven't already.
I see. Just a visitor, then. Congratulations, Hathaway. Not everyone's abandoned your orchards.
Well, shame that you're trying to change that. Anyway, sorry for the heated reception, stranger. There's just been some trouble here of late. Name's Overseeing Orchardist Hathaway, and I'm in charge of these orchards. Though it seems like certain groups, which will remain unnamed, are trying to change that. Looks like I'm stuck playing the part of customer service rep. Guess it's different from the usual, at least. Something I can do for you? I'm the overseeing orchardist of the Purpleberry Orchards. My job is to make sure we hit our production quotas. We're way behind, and with Rizzo Spectrum Brown set to unveil soon, we can't afford to be this way for long. Hell, it'd look grim for my job even if Slug weren't trying to knock me off my perch. Where'd you get that idea? Don't I look happy? Being here is an unemployment sentence. I can't blame anyone else for any screw-ups because I'm in charge. And there's loads of direct scrutiny from the administrator. Those void-damned lab coats in R&D knew that. It was why they sent me here. I think they knew the orchards were gonna start having problems too. Bastards. Okay then. Yeah. Just another woe to add to the pile. In the past, the orchards subcontracted security work from Slug. You know, keep the malcontents on staff from causing too much trouble. But between the Spectrum Brown unveiling demanding all of our resources and the recent uptick in worker accidents, we just ain't got the budget for security. And, of course, Slug has decided that instead of being reasonable, they're just gonna sabotage our operations until we start paying them again.
Look at the poor Rizzo's manager, lying about Sublight to make himself feel better. Shame he skipped where Rizzo's was short on our payments months before the new unveiling.
Look, at the end of the day, it's obvious that Slug is sabotaging us. I ain't paying until they come clean. Thank the law, some good news. You hear that, lapdog? Truth's coming. Better fess up while you still can outside of an interrogation room.
While I'm sure you'd love to have a scapegoat on whom you can pin your own incompetence, I suspect you'll be disappointed. But what do I know? I suppose it's up to your new hiree. I'm sorry you had to come in on such a brusque conversation. Not everyone appreciates the work Slug does on Eridanos.
Especially not folk that Slug is trying to extort.
All right, it seems I need to say it yet again. We're not stomping upon your purpleberries or knocking your workers off the planetoid. All we want is for you to pay your dues.
And I want you to stop setting our exterminator mechanicals loose and breaking our machinery.
This is how the conversation has gone for the last hour and a half. As you can see, it hasn't been terribly productive. Well, he's being difficult, as you've no doubt seen. All I'm here to do is enforce an agreed-upon business relationship. But our friend here is disinclined to settle.
Don't tell me to settle. Why don't you settle?
Yes, I'll be sure to do that. I know what you must be thinking, but no, I'm not here to atomize his kneecaps. I just want Slug to get what we're owed. Do I? Didn't realize that expecting my company to be paid for its work was extortion. You should try telling that to the board. Regardless, Slug's protection service has ensured that Rizzo's has had zero problems with its shipments at the docks, and all for a reasonable price. We haven't been hostile when their payments came up short either. In fact, Rizzo's is more of a danger to the orchards than us, considering all the workplace injuries. If I hear that question one more time, I swear... Look, we just want to get paid. Hampering our clients' productivity is not a good way to get paid. In fact, it's bad business. You're weird. Generous, but weird. The sentiment is nice, but Rizzo's doesn't just pay money. They're also literally our meal tickets. Unless you also happen to own an orchard, I don't think you can clear this guy. Much as we love giving the bureaucrats 29% of our profits, technically not. Official contracts have some rather obscene fees and documentation. Instead, our company's opted for a non-official manager's agreement. I'm just here to make certain our friend over there pays on time. Yes, I think we've spoken enough about that imbecile. What can Slug do for you? You're welcome to. I don't have any secrets. Certainly. When I'm not out on a job, they usually stick me in the Slug mess hall. I may be a service collector, but that doesn't mean I can't make a damn fine tripicale pie. Nope. Sorry, but this is the first I've visited this area in over a month. Shame about Helen. Liked her movies.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's Rizzo's! Welcome to the Purpleberry Nut Hut, you wonderful, wonderful customer! Thank you for giving my humble existence value. Oh, that? I call it my little passenger. I don't know why. The name just appeared in my head when this thing showed up on my neck. Couple of days. Ever since it showed up, I've been feeling happier and happier. I really can't imagine life without my little passenger. I don't know. It just appeared one day. I guess I just picked it up while working in the orchards. Sometimes I wonder how it showed up, and I start to worry. But worrying feels bad, and I hate feeling bad, so I don't worry about it.
Please visit the Purpleberry Nut Hut to purchase an audio tour today.
Entering quiet mode. Hands on the job. You make it dirty, Sam cleans it up. Preparing to neutralize and sanitize. Scoured with prejudice.
Resetting threat level.
Entering quiet mode.
Halt.
Dirt alert! Dirt alert!
Don't hurt me!
Analysis of efforts. Lone tools was on your left, customer.
Unit. Located. Sanitation and cleanup required.
Muting volume now.
I've already told you 6 times, and I'll tell you 6 more. I don't want a fucking tour! You can badger me all you want. I don't care if I'm from Forest Mills. I'm here as an individual, and I have just as much right to be here as any other visitor. You're welcome to bring a lawyer if you really want to try to force me out, but I can guarantee you that I will bury them. Oh, now you change your mind. Couldn't you have done that hours ago and saved us both the time? Wait a moment. You have all your teeth. You're not soaked in filth, and you don't look quite as slack-jawed as the regular Rizzo staff. Are you not with Rizzo's? Bah! I've lived in Byzantium long enough to read between your words. Here's your filthy money. Since you're already here, perhaps I can sweeten the pot even further. Regardless, please inform me if you'd be interested in a job. I've spent enough time out here that I'm starting to itch. I do not enjoy itching. I'm sure you have questions. I did. You see, Rizzo's has been advertising a contest in the puzzle hedges. Whoever gets to the center first gets a bottle of the first Spectrum ever made. The Spectrum Original. My interest, however, lies with the associated promise. The chance to attend the Spectrum Brown unveiling and meet Halcyon Helen. I'm not disappointed, I'm ecstatic. You may not know it, but you've just outlined the grounds for my lawsuit. Rizzo's, you see, can no longer make good on their promise for people to meet Helen. However, the contest has not yet been cancelled, which means that I can bring them to court. With the Spectrum Original bottle, which is located in the center of the puzzle hedges, I will have all I need to sue Rizzo's for all they're worth. That's where you come in. Well, don't consider my offer too long. The longer we wait, the more we stand to lose. I do indeed. Specifically, I'm their general counsel. Forest Mills, if you somehow don't know, owns Tile, Wentworth, Dock Rocket, and 24/7 Furniture. We're something of a big deal. When the going gets tough, the lawyers start going. Some farther than others. I've been a junior lawyer for coming up on 20 years now. And quite frankly, I'm getting old. Hopefully, there will be enough legal kindling out here to fuel my firm for a while longer. And if I find that kindling, I stand to finally get my raise.
Greetings. Have you brought your auto mechanical to the service technician lately?
Caution customer. This unit is operating at optimal performance capacity. Unnecessary tuning performed by an unfamiliar technician is not required at this time.
Didn't mean you bag of bolts. Clever, aren't we? Should be careful. Making accusations like that could get a body into a lot of trouble. Anyway, forget it. You aren't the person I was looking for. You're not covered in a layer of dirt, fertilizer, and self-loathing. Listen, I don't know you, so I'd rather keep my admissions to a minimum without the presence of legal counsel. I was waiting for someone to give me information about these hedges. That's as much as you need to know. You mean you honestly haven't heard? Either you're damn good at faking, or you're not from around here. Which means you might be safe to talk to. To coincide with the Spectrum Brown unveiling, Rizzo's planted a prize in the center of Puzzle Hedges. A bottle of the first Spectrum ever made, Spectrum Original. I believe they intended to invite finders to the Brown product launch. But with Helen dead, I suspect that offer has been withdrawn. Nope. There's a bottom feeder who sees an easy payday connected to it, but he's hardly worth considering. I also briefly engaged with an optimistic young woman intending to use the original as a springboard for upward mobility. Better than letting it rot, but still not ideal. Think fast. Never know when someone will come out of a bush, bolt or pistol at the ready. Keep your voice down. Never know who might be listening. Nobody of consequence. Think of me as an archivist. I collect that which the corporations have dismissed as failures and try to sweep under the rug. Take the recalled Spacer's Choice Powerhead. It was a shotgun shell on a stick, apparently supposed to be used like a spear. Had a tendency to ream the user's torso with buckshot. Corps don't want the common man to know about screw-ups like that, which is why I keep my actions decidedly in the shadows. I did. Someone I paid to inform on the orchards after I heard murmurs of a prize here. For security reasons, I never learned much about my contacts. All I knew about this one was that they were a groundskeeper. But the one here is either senseless or acting very well. Presumably, whoever I was in contact with was lying. Or they were found out and hurled off the side of Eridanos. It's a risk of the business. I did. Someone I paid to inform on the orchards after I heard murmurs of a prize here. For security reasons, I never learned much about my contacts. All I knew about this one was that they were a groundskeeper. But the one here is either senseless or acting very well. Presumably, whoever I was in contact with was lying. Or they were found out and hurled off the side of Eridanos.
Hands on the job. You make analysis of effort. Wrong tools for the job. Fight dirty. Clean up the competition.
Whoa!
Entering quiet mode.